everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is not my regularly scheduled video. Today was supposed to be the video about our cat Cotton, who is deaf and beautiful and wonderful, and I did film that video and it is coming, and it's going to tell you all about how we got her and just how wonderful she is. But I wanted to do a quick video, a little less formal today, about everything that's been going on in the world. I know everyone is probably sick of hearing about COVID-19, but I just wanted to make a video talking about it, how it's affecting me and my family and my business. So I don't think I'm going to be sharing any actual facts, but in case something comes in, I am filming this on March 23rd, Monday. It's going to be going out this Friday. So basically, with the coronavirus, COVID-19, I'm not really worried. You'd think I would be, being an anxious person, but I'm not super worried, partly because I have been keeping sort of up to date with what's going on. I've been watching YouTube videos from reliable sources like Dr. Mike and Mama Dr. Jones. I'm going to leave the link to their channels in the description because I really think listening to them is very helpful. And yeah, in general, I'm just not really that worried. I know the overwhelming odds are that if I do contract COVID-19 or if Cassidy does, then both of us will most likely be fine. It'll be mild. It might not even affect her because very, very few babies are. That's not to say babies aren't being affected, because there have been some that have gotten sick, but a lot less. Now, I'm a little worried about my husband because he does have sleep apnea and he did have asthma growing up, but even then, he's very healthy, and otherwise he's not super concerned, so we're just, listening to all the experts. We're keeping inside, we're disinfecting things, using hand sanitizer, and just following the proper protocols. But at the same time, I am worried. I'm worried about my parents, I'm worried about my grandmothers, and I'm worried about anyone who is immunocompromised, anyone who is elderly, anyone who has pre-existing health conditions, because I know that if they get this virus, it's not going to be mild for them. And what really scares me for these people is the amount of asymptomatic people who have COVID-19 that could be out and about. Healthy people who don't even know they have the virus can be carrying it anywhere. And this is why there is a stay inside social distancing protocol going on right now. See, I'm not staying in my house to avoid people, to avoid getting the coronavirus. I'm staying in because I don't want to carry the coronavirus to someone else. Because if you think about it, if I go out to Mommy Mingle's program thing that I'm pretty sure they're all canceled now anyway, and I come into contact with someone who has the COVID-19 virus but they don't know, now I have it. If I also don't have symptoms and I continue to go outside and go grocery shopping and I touch something, think, oh yeah, this is great, and then I change my mind, put it back. Now say your 80-year-old grandmother comes along and picks up that same jar and puts it in her cart and brings it into her home. Now she has the virus in her home that can infect her. Now, I know this isn't easy, and it's not going to be, staying inside for everyone, but it's so important to keep the vulnerable people healthy and safe from this virus. And I know it's hard for the extroverts out there, especially if you're used to being out and about with people and that's how you really energize. It's going to be tough, and I get that and I sympathize. I'm like in between introvert and extrovert, and I totally get it. I like being around people occasionally. I need my space, but getting used to being a stay-at-home parent has given me a bit of cabin fever at times, so I totally understand. But you can do this. We can all do this. So on that note, how is this all affecting me personally? I wanted to share this with you guys because it's not all sunshine and rainbows for us, even the people who typically stay at home all the time. Because if you think about it, my schedule doesn't seem like it's changed very much. Being a stay-at-home / work-from-home mom, I'm home pretty much all the time. The only times I would normally go out is evenings and weekends when my husband is home if we go out shopping. That was about it. The occasional visit with friends on weekends, but otherwise I'm actually pretty used to staying home. And I think most stay-at-home parents can relate with this because yeah, we're just home all the time anyway, so we're not really changing up our routine very much. However, my husband's company has decided that everyone should work from home. They're on the beginning of week 3 now, and that has affected me a lot more than I was expecting. I was really excited about it at first because that meant he'd be home and he wouldn't have to have his commute time, which means more time with us, which is so wonderful. But it's definitely taking a lot of getting used to for me. See, my usual routine that me and Cassidy have sort of fallen into now has been really disrupted. Because he's home all the time, I have to adjust when I do things because he works in an industry where they can do all their work over the computer, but he does need to talk to them a lot. So he's constantly in these video meetings, which means I can't make a lot of noise. So when I would normally be cleaning the kitchen in the afternoon, making a lot of noise, dishes clanking together, water running, I can't do that when he's in a meeting. And he doesn't even have set meetings schedule. It's different every day, so it's hard for me to plan ahead, which is something I normally would do. I had a planner and I would write like, here's her 3 naps, and these are what I'm doing in between, these are what I'm doing during. And I have to plan around him now as well. And every day it's different, so I can't do a week's schedule of house and business work ahead of time like I normally do. It has also just been generally weird having him here, but not really here. Like, I'm walking by him so many times during the day, but I know he needs to stay focused on his job, and we can't really be communicating all throughout the day, even though he's right there. So it's this weird feeling of feeling alone, but I'm not physically alone. So I don't know, I sort of prefer being alone and actually being alone. But it's been an adjustment for sure. Now, this week has also been really rough for me, and by this week, I mean the last 2 weeks. I've fallen really behind with my blog. They're still coming up on schedule. I have one already going for this Thursday. The one went up last Thursday. But I like to have 5 ready and scheduled to go and then just kind of add to it. So I always know I have these 5. Well, right now, I just have this Thursday scheduled and nothing for next Thursday. So that's stressful. I've also fallen behind with editing. The one that was supposed to come up today, I normally would have edited over this past weekend. I didn't have a chance to. And I thought I would do this quick video and get it edited and get it out because it'll also give me a chance to work on the video that I did last week, because that video was so stressful to film because I kept getting interrupted every 2 seconds between my husband talking in his meeting all the way downstairs really loud and I could hear it, and then Cassidy waking up halfway through, and Sequin was in this room driving me crazy. She was also in this room at the beginning of this video, so you might have heard her. I kicked her out of this room now because she's just driving me crazy. Anyway, so yeah, I've been a little behind, I've been a little stressed out, partly because Cassidy has also gotten a bit of a cold, so she's been a little cranky. She also has a tooth coming in. Her first tooth is cutting through the gums right now as we speak. She's been working at it since last Friday, and she's not happy. She's not a happy girl. So, getting her down for naps has been difficult, and her staying down hasn't been as long, and between her naps, trying to schedule when I can work around that versus when I can schedule work around my husband, it's been really tough. So that really is what I'm dealing with this coronavirus. I've barely really thought about the virus because I've just been so worried about keeping my business going. And that's another thing that does stress me out a little bit about this virus, and it's something that worries me, is all of the small business owners out there. Everyone is struggling. And I'm not really even talking about YouTubers or people who write for blogs and stuff, because we can keep working. That's something we normally do at home. But I'm talking about small business, brick and mortar, small business restaurants, non-chains, your hair salons, all of these businesses that have had to close because staying open would be irresponsible. They're dealing with so much lost revenue because they still have to pay rent to be there. They can't just not pay rent unless their landlord's giving them a break, which honestly, landlords, just a little break. I mean, you get it. You understand. And in general, I'm worried about the impact this is having on our economy, because if people aren't making as much money, they're not going to spend as much money. And then that is where it can translate into losses for blogs and YouTube, because if companies aren't able to put out as many ads, then the ads don't go on to the YouTubers. I'm not there yet, so I'm still just working on building a following so that I can start using ads on my videos, but it might hurt a little bit for some of them. Also, people aren't going to be putting up as many ads on blogs right now because no one can shop anyway. I know Amazon is behind with their deliveries, so even Amazon affiliates isn't going to work for some people, and it's just a really stressful and strange time. That being said, we can all get through this. We can all do this. We're just being called to stay home. We're not being called off to war. We're not being told to do anything too difficult, just stay home. And I know it's so stressful and it's so isolating, and it can be really hard, especially for those who have mental health issues. I know a lot of people with anxiety are either feeling okay with this because they're just sort of used to living in this worst case scenario mode, and now they actually have a tangible threat, something they can say, this is what's making me anxious. And it makes you feel a little better. Doesn't really make sense, but it's true. It's so much nicer when you know what you're stressed about than just feeling anxious for no reason. But then at the same time, there are people with anxiety who this is just causing more anxiety on top of what they're already experiencing. It can cause a lot of depression just being isolated, especially for those who live alone. I'm so grateful that I have my husband living here, even though him being home is driving me crazy sometimes. But it's great that I can talk to him and see his face. And of course, having my daughter here is wonderful too. And my cats and my dog, yeah. But yeah, it's definitely stressful. There's so many resources online for finding things that you can do while you're at home and while you're stuck at home, especially if you're not having to work from home. So if you don't have a home business or your job isn't having you work from home. Like my husband has to work from home because they can. If you're a hairdresser, you shouldn't be working from home because you shouldn't be having people over. There are so many different things you can do. You can find the time now to do all the things in your house that you've been putting off. Maybe give your house a deep clean, get ahead of the spring cleaning right now, because I know when we're all done with this and it's over-ish, we'll want to get outside and we won't want to spend any time inside. So get all your house stuff done, clean under your stove and do all the deep cleaning that you've been putting off for so long. And try and find fun ways to bond with your kids. Find fun ways to bond with your spouse. There are so many things you can do inside. It's hard when you're not used to it. And don't forget, your pets also need some fun. I know cats are probably not used to you being home all the time. They're used to just laying and doing nothing all day. Don't pester them. But yeah, spend time with your dogs, spend time with your cats, and let them just enjoy this extra time with you that you will probably miss when it's all over. And to the frontline workers, the people who can't take time off, so doctors, nurses, anyone in the medical field, thank you so much for everything you do. I couldn't imagine how stressful this is right now for all of you, and stressful for your families, because I'm sure you're working extra hours. And just know that so many of us appreciate it, and we're going to do whatever we can to flatten the curve so that you don't get too overwhelmed and bombarded with patients. And to all the grocery store workers, thank you for working. You're what's keeping your communities going, keeping them fed. Sorry that the world is going crazy over toilet paper for some reason. I don't understand, but I bought a bunch right before this craze started because it was bulk on sale, and I thought, yeah, let's do this. And then the craze happened, and I'm really glad I did. So yeah, everyone working in those industries, I used to work retail. I get how stressful it is during like Christmas and stuff, and I can't even imagine what it's been like the last little while. So thank you for that. Thank you to our mail carriers, people still getting us our Amazon packages, just anyone who has to work to keep the community going. Garbage truck collectors, people, I don't know, I'm having a hard time thinking about other jobs that people are still out and about, but thank you. And hopefully we will all get through this together. And next Friday I will definitely be posting the video about cotton, and then we will get on with our regularly scheduled videos. I might not do my Easter craft because I was gonna have to go shopping for it, but it's not really a good idea right now to go shopping. So I'll see what I have, if I can do an Easter craft. If not, I might have to skip it, which is really sad because I love Easter for crafting. Anyway, I'm talking real fast, and I think I gotta get going because Cassidy might be waking up soon. She is not sleeping well. Wish me luck. And everyone stay safe out there, and I'll see you next Friday.